So, Coach Manning, thank you so much for jumping on here and talking to me about the upcoming season. And first thing I want to talk about is some of the old Huskers that you had in the room in the offseason. Jordan Burrows was back in the room training, getting ready for to make another world team. And then James Green also back on your coaching staff, but competing as well. What did it mean to you to have both of those guys back in the room training just like old days and prepping for another world championship?
Yeah, it's really good. It's both those guys mean a whole lot to Nebraska wrestling, and I think you know Nebraska means a lot to them both. So it's a great combination, and both those guys really, I think, fed off each other that weekend in Omaha, and having those guys back, and just the crowds and the people that supported that event, a lot of Husker fans, and knowing that Jordan and James were wrestling. Liam Cronin, Eric Schultz wrestled to also, and Peyton Robb. So a lot of good competitors for the Huskers to watch and cheer on, and Jordan and James making the world team was really special. And having Jordan back training with alongside James, and it's just really good. They iron sharpens iron, and those guys really fed off each other. And it's great to have a James in the room every day, but have Jordan back was really special too.
Yeah, what did that mean to the team to be around guys of such high caliber and for your up and comers or the guys that are returning All Americans to see that type of work ethic right in front of them?
Yeah, well, James, they've a lot of guys on our team have been around Jordan. A whole lot of our guys, veterans, like Brock Hardy and Silas Allred and Ridge Lovett and Bubba Wilson and Lenny Pinto a little bit. They've all been around Jordan a lot, and he's always come back different years. But even when he was here, those guys remember when he was here. So on a daily basis. So they're really used to JB, and same with James. James hasn't been gone that long, and now he's in the room every day. So it's you know it's what we always talk about, being elite. If you want to be elite, there's elite, and so you emulate it. You attach yourself to it. You see what kind of traits they have and why they're great at what they do. You watch them and you learn from them, and you soak it in, and you try to take something away that's going to really help you be your best.
Mhm. So I want to pivot to the team that you have this year. You return four of your five All Americans from a season ago, and a lot of experience behind them with Allred and Pinto as well. How have you seen your guys really grow since last season as they come back and look to impress upon the finishes that they had at the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think there's I think there are certain guys that were happy about how they finished, but then now it's a new year, it's the next thing.
Mhm.
You reevaluate, and you try to better yourself from the experiences in the past to become better than you were the previous years. And so I think our guys have done extremely great job of taking ownership over their development over the spring and summer, and just how many guys are in our room on a daily basis throughout the year is so impressive. Um, and that's what we need. And really, really great to have. It doesn't matter really what guy. The 32nd guy on our team he's pushing Brock Hardy or Ridge Lovett or Antrell Taylor. We have a great team. We have good culture, and I think people realize that. And it's fed by everyone, not just our superstars. And so we have a lot of young guys that are up and coming, and have put in a whole heck of a lot of work over the spring and summer and the fall. And so we're really super excited about this team and this year, but just ready to get out there and compete and show people what we got.
Yeah. So, Coach, you mentioned Taylor. He was up a weight last year at 65, and he All American, but he's going to be down. Looks like this year, and filling a spot that 3-time All American Peyton Robb filled for a number of years. And then also you're going to have Wilson, who was up at 74 down at 65. What was the conversation like for those guys to say, okay, now it's time for us to move into maybe a more comfortable spot in the lineup, or what was the conversation like that you had with them when they decided to drop down a weight this year?
There was really no conversation. That was already decided before the season last year finished, really. And Bubba wrestled 174 because that was the best place for him to make the team. And he really sacrificed for us because Antrell was at 65 and he couldn't beat him out. So, Bubba's he's been just an integral part of our team from the standpoint of just putting out there whether we ask him whatever weight we ask him to wrestle. And so 165 is Bubba's natural weight, and he's a 6-year guy. He's got a ton of experience, and he wants to do something special. So he's got a good opportunity to do that, and we're looking forward to having him at the right weight and right spot. So
Yeah. So another guy that you have that has a lot of experience in your lineup is Ridge Lovett, and obviously he's had a not just a ton of experience but a ton of success. And to say that he probably didn't have the NCAA tournament that he wanted last year is probably an understatement. How have you seen him grow and bounce back from a finish that, while it is great and being an All American again, wasn't what he had in mind? How have you seen him really grow over this past offseason?
well, it's really, it's just the trials of life, the up and downs of life. I think wrestling is a byproduct of life, what you experience in life. You might not always get what you like. And I know Ridge didn't like where he finished and didn't like what he did for the team. So he's bound and determined to make a difference in his finish. And so, it's just wrestling. You got to adjust, and you got to learn from it and grow from it. And biggest thing is to make adjustments. And I think that's where Ridge really learned that I got to make adjustments. And so that's going to force him to get better and become a better wrestler. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, a guy that was, I guess, like a lightning rod for you guys at NCAAs was Smith at 125, and he had, a really good year, pretty solid year, and really stepped up. Placed in sixth last year at the NCAA tournament, and he's coming back as well. Him basically batting leadoff for you. How does that really spark the rest of the team of just kind of creating and setting that precedent of, we're gonna come out and we're gonna do everything that we need to do to win. But how has he really been kind of a lightning rod, like I said, about that leadoff position for you guys at 125?
Well, Caleb's really taken a leadership role in our team, and he's really, he's when you have a really good 125 and you have a really good heavyweight, you have someone coming out at the beginning that lights a spark, like what you said, and provides energy and effort and fight. And Caleb does all those things. And then when you have someone at the end to really, you know, take the duel to another level and finish it off right, it's huge. So I think Caleb's grown into that, and I think he knew he could be an All-American. It's going out and doing it, and he really just stayed the process. Really just focused on what he could do, and really focused on his attributes. I really like where Caleb is. He's really put in a great off season, much better than he was last year. And now you got to go out and show it and do it. And so I think I know he is. He's very excited for this season, ready to go, and he's ready for he's ready to be one of these leaders on our team. And so, he's got two guys in the room. Alan Kaler is a redshirt freshman from Prior Lake, Minnesota. He's done a really good job. He's made a big jump in his wrestling. And Cale Lawrenson, who took a gray shirt last year. And Cale's really tough. And so he's got two guys, biting at his heels. And so that's going to really impact Caleb and really keep him on his toes each and every day because those guys are tough competitors and really nationally ranked type guys. And they haven't proved themselves right now at the college level, but those guys are two up and comers.
Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, you return a ton of experience. I think 8 out of the 10 weights, you've got guys that have either, that have been on the level and been starters for you for a while. But at 74 and heavyweight, you're going to have some newcomers in there. Who are those guys that you think are going to fill those spots at 174 and then at heavyweight as well?
Well, 174, we have some changes in our lineup. 174, Lenny Pinto's going down to 174, and 184, Silas Allred's going down to 184. So well, there's some other guys, Adam Tebow at 174, and maybe Christopher Mento. We'll see there. He might go 65, but Cam McDaniel will probably be our 197 pounder. So we got those guys have really made a big commitment over the summer, and so those guys are in good shape and down to weight and ready to go.
Yeah. And then at heavyweight, obviously you had, Nash Hutmacher, who was in the lineup for you guys last year. And, he split time a little bit after coming off a football season. But, he's sacking quarterbacks right now. Who are you going to have at 285 when the season comes around?
Well, shoot, we might as well just let everyone know. Listen, Nash Huntmaker's coming back. I mean, he doesn't know he's coming back, but he's coming back. He's going to hunt all these dudes down. I'm sure the guy from Penn State's scared of him, but no, Nash is going to go on the NFL. But Harley Andrews, he did a great job in a couple matches last year. He's got bigger and stronger, and he's put a lot more into his wrestling, and it's going to pay off. He'll be our heavyweight this year, and Harley's doing a great job, and really he's really looking forward to season. He's redshirt sophomore now. He's been in our program. He's ready to step up and take a big role on our team.
Yeah. So, Coach, I want to pivot to the schedule you have, and you go back to CKLV, and then you'll be starting your dual meet season, and when 2020, the Big Ten dual meet season, when 2025 rolls around. As you look at that schedule, what kind of development do you see for your team as it starts to really ramp up and get tougher and tougher over time? And how do you see your schedule helping your guys get ready for that NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think we have a really good dual meet starting the year with Utah Valley State November 8th, and then going to North Carolina, Russell Campbell in North Carolina. Those will be two really good challenges. Campbell's got a really good team, and Rob Cole and those guys have really put together North Carolina and really brought in some transfers. He's got some guys moving around different weights, so Rob's going to have a very competitive team, and then going out to Navy Classics, always a good tournament for us. Kind of helps us get prepared for Vegas, and then the Big Ten season. We wrestle Northern Iowa in early January, so that'll be a tough test, and then just the Big Ten schedule. It's it's a test every week, so you have to be ready to go, and you have to be consistent. One of the pillars of our program being consistent, and so it just tests our principles along the way. You gotta be good every week, and you might find yourself in a barn burner. You got to be able to fight your way out of it, and then get ready to go again, maybe in 2 days.
Mhm.
In the Big Ten. So the Big Ten schedule does it really prepares you for the NCAA tournament because you're going to see a lot of competition, maybe more than you're going to at the NCAA tournament in some ways. And so, each and every week is really important, and we'll have our guys ready to go, and they're ready to fight.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you sitting down and talking to me about the season and the team. Before I let you go, what's something that we can look forward to seeing from the Huskers this year, and how your team of really experienced guys have grown over the offseason?
Yeah, I just think, I think we have some guys shift around, and that just shows commitment on our team. I think we're going to be, a salty lineup with the guys. Guys like Jacob Van D has really come a long way, um, and it's really super improved over the spring and summer. And you have to go out and show it. I just talk a lot about courage, and just seeing this group being courageous. And these guys are anxious for the season, made a big commitment, and different guys going different weights, and it's a big sacrifice. We're in a weight cutting sport, and so when you cut weight, there's a suffering process to it. It's I'm sure Silas doesn't. He'd feel a lot better at 197, but that's where he feels that he's going to be best at 184, and Lenny Pinto the same way. And so it's really good. It's just this buy-in across the board, and love our team. Our guys are really bought into each other, and they compete as a team. And that's what I'm looking forward to watching, is that those guys competing as a team, and those guys just seeing the spirit rise out of them as they go and walk on the mat.
That's awesome, Coach. Like again, I really appreciate you sitting down and talking to me about the team in the upcoming season. Looking forward to seeing what the Huskers have this year. Again, good luck, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate you.